What's up guys, this is the brand new GOAT Power Bikes 96 volt Dirt Goat, and we recently did a review of it on our channel, but today we're doing a range test. This bike has a massive 96 volt 50 amp hour battery, which is larger than any other bike in its size. So I'm really excited to see how far it goes today. We're gonna be testing it in our sport mode and our eco mode test at 50 miles an hour and 28 miles an hour and see how far it goes. At the end of the video, we will put it up on screen in our range test chart to see how it compares to every other model that we've done this test on. Right now, we have about 15 or 20 models on that list. I think this one might be very, very close to the top of the chart, so you're gonna wanna stay tuned. Let's get into it. All right, here we go. I am on the Dirt Goat. So if you're new to these tests, we do eco mode and sport mode, like I mentioned, and we just kind of hold full throttle in each of those modes, about 28 miles an hour and about 50 miles an hour. And then we compare it to every other bike model we've done this same test on. We've done it on the same road, in very similar conditions, on the same riders and the same speeds. And so it's really, in our opinion, the best way to compare a bike to another bike in making them, you know, be a fair test. The test isn't really a real world experience test because we just hold a consistent speed that most people wouldn't do when they're really riding, but it's really the only way to get rid of a lot of different variables so you can see between two models which one has more range if you're trying to decide between buying one or the other. It is time for the sport mode test on the Dirt Goat. So we're gonna hold 50 miles an hour. Romney's up on our XXX. I think that video's already been posted to see how that bike did for range. We're just gonna follow his lead. He's full throttle pinned at 50, and we are just gonna follow. As you can see, we're doing 49.5 on our GPS. I'll stay far enough back that I'm not drafting. I want you guys to drop a comment in the video. Pause it right now. Drop a comment and mark how far you think eco's gonna go and how far sport's gonna go. We'll see who can get the closest, and maybe we'll give you a prize or something. You gotta pause that video, no cheating. So this Dirt Goat has a battery that is 96 volt 50 amp hours, which if you multiply those numbers together, you get the watt hours, and that's how you can compare like a 96 volt battery to a 72 volt battery or 60 volt battery like the XXX is. This bike has roughly 4,800 watt hours, which is a ton. That's a huge battery. So I'm expecting this bike to go a heck of a long ways. Probably one of the furthest in our range test. First update on the eco mode Dirt Goat. We are at 90% battery and we have gone 8.9 miles with a ride time of 20 minutes. We're averaging about 28.5 miles an hour for this test. We got a long ways to go. That should be really good range if it keeps consistent. Update for the sport mode Dirt Goat. We are at 90% battery. We've gone 5.1 miles. So if you do that math, that's a long ways. Let's see how consistent it holds. Well, I am losing my mind on this Dirt Goat here because the throttle is so twitchy, jumpy, going this speed, about 28 miles an hour, that every little bump I hit, I go faster and then slower, and it just like undulates like this. Like if I even think about twisting the throttle, it just undulates. It's probably gonna be like the worst range test I've ever done. Huge battery, undulating throttle. Because it's so sensitive right in the middle. All right, update for the Dirt Goat in the sport mode. We are at 75% battery, 1/4 of the way done. We've done 12.5 miles. Boy, that's gonna be some good range. We've been riding for 18 minutes. All e-motos die so fast in the sport mode 50 mile an hour test. They don't last very long. I mean, that XXX right now, which the video you may have already seen, is at 50% right now, and I'm at 75. So this bike probably gonna go more than twice as far. Update on the eco mode Dirt Goat. We are at 75% battery. It is taking forever, and we've gone 23.3 miles. Oh man, if you guys start doing the math there, that is a long ways that we're gonna go if this battery stays consistent. I have no clue what the battery's gonna do. I've never drained it past like 60 something percent because in all the riding we've done on it, the battery lasts so long and we just haven't done any really long rides. So man, we got a long ways. Like, for reference, he's on the XXX and it's almost at 50%. This bike has a battery that is, this bike's battery is more than twice the size of that battery, and that bike already gets good range. That's just to kind of put it in perspective. It's crazy. Guys, if you need any parts for your eMoto, I'm gonna put our store link in the video description. I'm gonna give you 2 discount codes right now up on screen. You can use code Talaria Boys or code TB Electric. You can actually use them both. They work on different products. We appreciate you guys watching the video, supporting our store. Use those discount codes. Sadly, they don't work on everything, but everything that has enough margin for us to make it work, we want to give back to you guys. And we're giving a bike away when we hit 50,000 subs, so you're going to want to subscribe right now. Thanks for watching, guys. Let's keep going.
This is Romney's POV. I just hopped onto the Dirt Goat. Me and Lance traded off. I'm at 60% check-in. We got 37.6 miles, almost 38. Been riding for an hour and 28 minutes exactly.
Update on the Dirt Goat. We are at 60% battery and we've gone 19.3 miles so far. We still got a long ways to go. All right, guys, time for our checkup on the Dirt Goat. Romney's been riding it and now it's at 50% battery and we have gone 48 miles. This bike has gone so far. That's by far the furthest any small bike has gone, the first 50%. So now I want to see if it stays consistent as the battery keeps draining. So we got to go keep going. All right, guys, we're at 50% on the Dirt Goat and we have already gone 25.1 miles. That's a long ways. I think that's the furthest any small bike has gone at 50%. So now I'm really curious to see specifically if this bike is going to beat my upgraded Surron 49.
Put that in perspective, the XXX is dead already. Completely drained.
A side by side, this bike has really good range. It just shows how insane this range is. I mean, look at this battery. It's huge. Huge. All right, this is Lance. I'm back on the Dirt Goat and we are cruising. We're at 40% battery and we've gone 55 miles, 2 hours and 11 minutes so far. We are at 40% on the Sport Mode Dirt Goat. We've gone 29 miles even. We're still chugging along at 48, 49, 50 miles an hour. Update on the Dirt Goat Eco Mode. We are at 25% battery and we've gone 66.6 miles. It's been a long test, 2 hours and 37 minutes. Wow. Hey, we got a ways to go still. I think we're getting really close to passing, if not already, a stock Ultra Bee that we tested with still 24 left. And then I think we're getting real close to my fully modified upgraded Surron Light Bee with basically the biggest upgraded battery you can buy. I just looked it up. We have passed the stock Ultra Bee at 66.8 miles. And then my upgraded Surron went 74.3. So we still got about 7 more miles to catch up to that bike. All right, I'm slowing down to do another lap. Flip a UE here on the Sport Mode Dirt Goat. We are at 34 miles and 24% battery. So we're nearing the end. It seems to be dropping quite a bit faster than it was at the start. So we'll see what happens. I wonder when it's not going to let us do 50 miles an hour anymore. That's what I'm curious about. Battery's dropping really fast now. We're already at 18%, so we're 6% down, and we've only gone like 2.5 miles, I think. We're at 36 miles now from the last checkup. I'm full pinned now. Let's see how fast it'll go. 49, there's 50. I'm going to let off so it doesn't get too high. I have a feeling that pretty soon it's going to start slowing us down pretty hard.
Romney on the Dirt Goat, we just hit 15% battery and the bike took a spike in its power level. So we are going 24 miles an hour. We were going 27. As soon as it hit 15, it went woo, way down to 24. I'm going full throttle now. Before the drop, I had to kind of, feather it, find the right spot to go 27. But now I'm going full throttle 24. I'm hoping I can get back to the truck. I'm a little bit far out. So it went from sport mode to eco mode, and now its top speed is 24. So it automatically goes to eco mode at 15%.
This is Lance. I am back on the Dirt Goat, and we are at 8% battery. I traded Romney when it was at about 13 or 14%. It had switched to eco mode at that point. It slowed down a little bit. We've been holding a consistent speed since I got on, still in the 24 mile an hour range. So that's still kind of well into the eco mode area. So let's see how far we can go. We're at 80.6 miles right now. That's the first time a small e-moto's ever passed 80 for us. Previous record was my Surron Light Bee at 74.3. This is going a long ways. I wonder if we can get 85. We just hit 3% on the Dirt Goat. We're flashing our gas light and we are almost dead. We're still going 24 miles an hour. I'm not gonna tell you guys how far we've gone yet. We'll catch up at the end. 2%, we're still going. I'm very happy that we are almost dead. 1%, finally. Holy, this is going forever. Well guys, I just died and I'm coasting into Maverick. That's it. That's all there is to it. 0%. Right when it hit 0, I died. That's kind of convenient. There she is. I'm not going to tell you guys how far it went. We're going to go back to the garage. But what's crazy is how far we went with that big of a rear tire. Look at that thing. That's huge. Oh, and it just cut power 15%. Okay, it switched us to eco mode. So I'm still pinned 30 miles an hour. Let's see when it kicks in. 29, 27, 25, 24, 23, 22, 23. Okay, we're still full throttle that whole time. 24 miles an hour we're holding. Okay, so at 15% it slowed us down drastically. So man, I don't know what to do for this range test. So we're at 37 miles. Obviously, if we keep going at 24 miles an hour, it's gonna go a lot further. So at some point soon here, I'm gonna just call the sport mode test, because the test really is about kind of how far can you go in sport mode. We're no longer in sport mode, we're in eco mode. So nonetheless, 37 miles is really, really far, and it's one of the top bikes on our chart. One thing to note, because we're gonna stop this test a little bit early because it's not really a fair sport mode test, but you guys watch in the eco mode test how far I can go at 15% to 0, and then you guys will kind of have a good idea of, if you're doing a fun hard ride, how much you can use in sport, and then how much battery you have left to make it home riding slowly. So I think we'll head back to the garage now and do a little recap. Well guys, we are back in the garage with a totally dead Dirt Goat. This baby did 88.6 miles in eco mode, which is so far for a lightweight e-moto. If you guys saw our previous video, this bike weighs 182 pounds, so it's kind of right in line with some other small e-motos and a little bit heavier than some. That makes sense because of how large the battery is. In sport mode, at an average speed of about 50 miles an hour, we did 38.8 miles. Which, to be honest, isn't quite as far as I was expecting based on the eco mode test, but every bike performs different at different speeds, and I think at 50 miles an hour, this huge moto tire played a bigger role than maybe I was expecting and probably lowered our range. That being said, let's add it to our range test chart right here. You guys can see that it basically slots into 3rd place on our list. The only bikes above it is the Stark Varg and our upgraded Surron Ultra Bee that has a $4,000 battery. So this bike is pretty insane. This is the furthest that any stock small bike has gone in our test. We appreciate you guys watching. If you're interested in purchasing a Dirt Goat, check the link down in the video description. There's also a discount code down there, the Dirt Goat offered to you guys as our viewers. And then if you're not subscribed to this channel, you're gonna wanna do it right now, because very, very soon when we hit 50,000 subs, we're gonna give away another bike to one of you guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you next time. See ya.